Welcome to the physical science class. My name is Dr. Reginald Cannon. The objectives of this class today are to define the term science, classify the branches of science, explain and define scientific inquiry, and describe the steps of scientific inquiry. Let me ask you a few questions. It's okay if you don't have the answers to these questions. The only thing you have to do is to think about them. And hopefully at the end of this video or this class, you will be able to answer them. What would you like to know about the natural world? How do scientists investigate the natural world? What are some discoveries that are the result of scientific investigations? What is a scientific inquiry? Let's say on a beautiful night, the sky is so beautiful with so many stars. A clear night sky is one of the most beautiful sights on Earth. The stars seem to shine like a hand of diamonds scattered on black velvet. And you ask yourself, why do stars seem to shine more brightly some nights than others? Did you know that when you ask questions such as this one, you are practicing science? Science is the investigation and exploration of natural events and of the new information that results from those investigations. Like as scientists, you can help shape the future by accumulating knowledge, developing new technologies, and sharing ideas with others. You too, you are a scientist. If you can ask questions, if you can observe, you ask questions and you look for answers to those questions, you are a scientist. The branches of science, we can say we have three different branches of science. We have the physical science, which has to do with like physics, chemistry. It's like the study of matter and energy. We also have earth science. Earth scientists, they study the many processes that occur on Earth and deep within the Earth. And also we have life science. Life scientists, they study all organisms and the many processes that occur in them. It could be plants, it could be humans, it could be bacteria, it could be a virus, any form of life. It doesn't matter if it's a one-cell organism, multi-cell organism, if it's plants, if it's animals, if it's humans. When scientists conduct investigations, they often want to answer questions about the natural world. To do this, they use a scientific method. They use the scientific inquiry. It's a process that uses a variety of skills and tools to answer questions or to test ideas. Sometimes they also call it the scientific method. The scientific inquiry has a lot of steps, as I said, a lot of skills and tools. Those are the steps of scientific inquiry. Ask questions, make observations, state a problem, gather information, infer, hypothesize, and predict. Test your hypothesis, design experiment, make a model, gather and evaluate evidence, collect data and record observations. Analyze results, graph results, classify information, make calculations, draw conclusions, infer, reasoning, communicate results, write science journal articles, speak at science conferences, exchange information on the internet. All those are the steps of a scientific inquiry. When we talk about observation, so observation is like the result of using one or more of our senses to gather information and taking note of what occurs. observation often lead to questions. So it's like the first thing in the scientific inquiry. We observe, and then according to what we observe in the natural world, and then we can ask questions. So observation is like the first step. It's very important. And after we observe, we ask questions. Also, we can infer. So when we infer, it's prior knowledge or experience. So you use the prior knowledge, use the prior experience, and then you can infer. You can have a logical explanation about what you're observing. And after that, you can predict. So prediction is like a statement of what will happen next in the sequence of events. So you can predict, you can say what you think could happen, in the future. But when scientists state a hypothesis, they often use it to make predictions, to help test their hypothesis. And a hypothesis is a possible explanation for an observation that can be tested by scientific investigation. Now, this is all you have to remember. You don't need to memorize all the steps, I have, talk about. So what you have to remember about this, ask questions. You do background research. You construct a hypothesis. You test with an experiment. You analyze the result and you draw your conclusion. Now, when you analyze the result and your hypothesis is true, so now you can go ahead and report the results. Now, if you analyze the results and the hypothesis is false or partially true, now you can think and you try again. So you go back to your hypothesis and you try to make correction so you can make it true. Now, once your hypothesis is true, so you have answers to the questions, you had from the beginning, or you have solution to a problem if you had a problem. Now you can share the answers to the questions to the public, or you can share the solution of the problem you had from the beginning to the public. So this is our science. They do things. This is our science use the scientific method to prove their hypothesis. First, they observe, they have questions, and now they do their investigation, and then they have their hypothesis, and then they have the results, they have the answers to the questions, and they go ahead, they share the answers to the questions or the solution to the problems they had from the beginning with the public. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you have learned something from it. And I say thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.